Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast.
Quarantine edition. I'm Moshe Kasher,
I'm Natasha Leggero.
and we are not, as you may be able to tell, in the same room. I'm sadly leaning into some pathetic lights in the room where we usually record this podcast. And my wife, she's in quarantine.
Yeah, I decided to get away from my family for a few days, and Moshe was very supportive. And
No, you went into a high-risk COVID situation, and I asked you to stay away.
right.
But originally, you were going to...
But I turned it into my own private time away from everybody.
Well, Natasha just taped a pilot, which meant that she was around a bunch of sweaty crew guys feeling her up, right? And your plan originally was to hide in our attic and not tell our child that you were up there. And I was going to bring you
food at the bottom of the steps.
Yeah, I was going to bring you food at the bottom of the steps and knock 3 times and run away like you were a diphtheria patient.
And what if the dogs started to know I was up there? They would have just been would have been confusing to lie.
Well, the dogs would have probably told our child, and then the whole jig would have been out.
And to sleep in the attic for 5 days.
So I suggested that you go and take a nice vacation at a hotel. She's in Palm Springs, living high on the hog, while I am here slaving away with our child, just me and the little girl. And I'm turning her against you.
Don't do that. That's rude.
It's almost complete. That's the good news.
Well, I'm having a great time, and it's been really hard to separate myself from the daily chores and grind of the pandemic and being a parent. But
yeah, what was your day like today? Can you take us through your schedule?
I had a walk.
Mm-hmm. Did you go to the labyrinth?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, Natasha's at the place right now in Palm Springs that has a meditation labyrinth, if that gives you any picture of the kind of...
But I went out there today to try to walk the labyrinth, and there coyotes, 50 of them just started yelping.
Well, this is like a Native American myth.
No, that's what happened. And so then I ran away. I was too scared. I should have walked it while they howled, but I wasn't sure how close they were.
Now, what did you do after you ran from the coyotes?
Ordered dinner.
And then what?
Called you.
You didn't do any soaking?
Oh yeah, I did soak too.
She's having a good time.
Hopefully you don't have COVID.
I might have
loud
COVID.
Sneeze. We shouldn't edit that out so people know that was a very mild sneeze for Moshe.
I might have COVID because I've been having company while you've been out of town. You think you're the only one that knows how to relax. I've invited a number of old lovers over, not to hook up or anything, but just to kind of catch up and reminisce.
Great. I hope you introduce them to our daughter.
Yeah, she calls them Mom 1, Mom 2, Mom 3. It's been a lot of fun. Tosh, I noticed that you posted from your meditative getaway, and man, I gotta say your comment section is I would call it a nightmare.
Someone called it a dumpster fire, and I was gonna ask them to not say that on my page.
So they were defending you, but you were gonna take them down for using kind of overly used phrasing.
And then I realized, why put that sort of aggression out there? We get it so much. Even if it's the tiniest bit.
Well, a guy on your page said, you'd look cuter with a nose job.
Well, I saw that comment and I tried to reply and it wouldn't reply because I was going to say, thank you so much for your feedback.
I replied to him.
No, you can't reply to him. I got a message saying he doesn't accept people to reply to him.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes.
That's a funny tactic for a troll.
You're not allowed to reply. So it didn't show up. And I was
He's like, hey, warthog, you look better with a nose job, you big nose freak. And then it's like, no, I don't want to get any negativity. I can't do it.
Why do they even allow that as one of the features? It's not fair.
That is funny.
And
Wait,
I even tried to put it in manually to try to reply to him. And it said, whatever his name was, doesn't accept replies. See, why would I ever spend my time doing this? I'm on a beautiful, silent vacation where I don't have to deal with my family right now. And
hey. Wait a second. You know what, though? It's funny
I
because
started to think I was maybe going crazy.
why?
I just need like some like of my own thoughts, my own space.
Oh, you were starting to think you would never recover from being in our house? What the fuck?
No, I'm saying there's no outlet right now.
Well, I hope you're getting your outlet. I'm still in no outlet zone here with our child and the three dying dogs. But anyway, you know what? After hearing that kind of comment, I'm kind of leaning in the nose job direction.
You think I need a nose job?
No, I think you look perfect, just the way you are.
I mean, I really do miss being at home.
Are you eating a sundae on the podcast? I mean, you're like rubbing it in my face. She's like eating a chocolate tort. I'm sitting here. Well, I'm having a good time too, if I'm honest. Last night I caught up on all the movies you wouldn't watch with me. I'm watching Patton right now. Anyway, I can't look at you eat cake anymore. This is just too depressing.
Honey, what? It's been really hard staying away from you guys.
Yeah, I bet. It looks pretty tough. Well, we had a good night too. We didn't need you. We had cupcakes. We ate pizza. Last night I made her turkey bacon wrapped turkey dogs. So you know what? We've been having our own kind of luxury.
Well, I might extend my stay.
Yeah, you better fucking not. Absolutely not. And by the way, I actually might come into contact with a COVID risky situation next week.
What is it?
I don't know yet, but it might happen. So I might need to take a few days to myself.
You take a day to yourself all the time. You go surfing.
No, that's an afternoon. I need an extended stay America. Well, in the meantime, as I miss you desperately and want you to come home, the only way I can think to make this parting, which is such sweet sorrow, more bearable, is for us to listen to a few secrets. What do you think?
That'd be fun.
You think it'd be possible for you to podcast without food in your mouth? She's really gone off the reservation. All right, listen, while you chomp on that brownie, let's play a secret.
Hey, Natasha and Moshe. Just calling with a secret. So when I was a teenager, like many teenagers, I experimented with lots of options for masturbation. And one time wanted to try a change in temperature. And I worked at a snack bar at a Christian summer camp. And I jerked off using the big tubs of ice cream that we served to the campers. So, yeah, that's my secret. Thanks for the show. I love it. You guys have a good one.
That is reprehensible.
He fucked the ice cream tub?
He was starting to get into temperature. So he like drilled a hole through the ice cream tub, put his dick in there, fucked it, and then served it to the kids who didn't know the difference.
Ooh.
That's rough. There's no excuses. Don't ever do anything like that again.
You know, the Persians used to say, what did they say? A woman for duty, a man for pleasure, and a melon for ecstasy.
Cool.
And I guess ice cream for frostbite?
I don't think a woman knows the idea of shoving her membrane into something.
No, don't women like have sex with zucchinis? Isn't that like, don't you guys go produce too sometimes?
Most women aren't that horny that they need a zucchini.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever masturbated with?
Like a prop?
Yeah, prop. You really are an actress, aren't you? I think they're called toys.
First of all, that's a personal question.
Well, sorry to interrupt you between bites of your sundae, honey, but I'm trying to make some content over here. Should we play another secret?
Yeah.
And if you want to know my answer, I think it was my mom's vibrator. Let's play another secret.
Honestly, I'm just not into sex toys. You made me uncomfortable, so I started eating my sundae.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Hi, Natasha and Moshe. So I'm calling with a secret. My name is Sydney. I haven't been able to tell this to anyone because we are in a pandemic, and I feel like it would interfere with people's opinions of me. So I recently moved down to Portland from Washington, and on my trip down, while having a car packed full of stuff, on my stop at the gas station to gas up before the trip down, I got to chatting with a homeless man outside of the gas station, and he was the kindest soul. He sang me a beautiful song, and my kind of excuse to step away and get out of the conversation, even though we're having a great time, was that I needed to go because I needed to get on my drive down to Portland, which I should have thought about before I spoke, because then he wanted to come down to Portland with me. So I ended up taking a homeless man to Portland with me. We had a great time, and he showed me a bunch of cool rock music. I hope that he, I don't know, found some great people down here, and maybe is making a better situation for himself. There's a lot more resources in Portland for someone in his situation than there would have been back where I was in Washington. So, all right, bye.
Secrets aren't just stories, are they?
No, but I mean, she took a big risk.
Yeah,
Would you take a homeless person on a road trip?
How is that a secret? That's just a story of somebody you gave a
Maybe she
ride to.
doesn't tell anybody.
I heard a great story once about giving somebody a ride.
A
in a
stranger.
rideshare.
I mean, doesn't even matter homeless or not. Just the idea of a stranger in your car. It sounds so risky. What did you hear, Moshe?
Oh,
Can I have
heard
a bite of my sundae while you tell your story?
Yeah, you go ahead and chomp down on that tort, on that flour chocolate cake. My friend was doing Craigslist ride shares, and he's like, I'm going from Portland to Los Angeles if anybody can split gas money with me, which is how Craigslist rideshare works. So he goes, and this person writes back and is like, yeah, could you meet me at this park in Portland? And he pulls up, and this kind of scraggly looking, like kind of hippie chick is there. She gets in the car and she's like, look, I got to let you know, I don't have any gas money. And he's like, oh, fuck. But he's like, oh, you know what? Forget it. I could use the company, ride with me. So they ride, and then they're about 5 hours into the trip when she looks down and she's like, oh, fuck. And he's like, what? And she's like, dude, I just got my period and it's all over your car seats. And he's like, okay. He pulls over in a gas station, and she's like, I got to get a tampon. Pulls over in a gas station, and she looks at him, and she's like, hey, I don't really have any money for tampons. So the guy's like, okay, here's some money. Buys her a tampon. She cleans up as best she can. They do the rest of the drive. They get to the Grapevine, and they're they're pulling into LA. It's like 9 hours later. They're pulling into LA, and the girl goes, you know what, dude, you've been so cool and so understanding and awesome to me. Like, let me just suck your dick. And the guy's like, oh, no, that's okay. No, not needed. No, thank you. And she's like, no, I'm happy to do it. I want to do it. And the guy's like, no, I'm going to pass. Anyway, they spent the next 40 minutes arguing all the way into Los Angeles, fighting about the fact that he wouldn't let her give him a blowjob. And then finally, he was like, where do you want me to drop you off? And she was just said a random corner in downtown Los Angeles. And they pulled up, and she jumped out of the car and disappeared into the night.
Is this the person you know who told you this story?
Uh-huh. Now, the question is, as a man, would you have taken the blowjob? And you know what, Tosh? At a certain point in my life, I think I would have.
I know you would have.
I don't know what she was like, though. Maybe she was really annoying. Let's just play another secret.
Hi, Moshe and Tosh. Well, I have a secret. That's why I'm calling. And so my secret is that I am a person who is a woman. And I'm really hot. I've always been really hot. And I've always been really sexual. Like, people know I like to fuck. And a big pillar of my sexual identity is that I'm bisexual. But my secret is I've never even kissed a woman. So I'm just running around, fucking lying about my sexual orientation to get a little bit of attention. I wouldn't be against it, I guess. But yeah, that's my secret.
That's really interesting. Was she saying she's actually not bi? Not that I think she's saying not that she's never kissed a woman. She's not bi.
No, I think what she's saying is she is open to it. It just hasn't happened and may
I don't
never.
think so. I think what she was saying was she's all hot and likes her sexuality is a part of her mythology. And she just thinks it makes her sound hot to say she's bisexual. And actually, she's not.
Why don't we take another secret?
All right.
Hi, I have a secret. So in Secret Dump, I think it was 12, Moshe was talking about a PCP weed story. And I do have one. There was definitely that, I'm from the South, I'm from Oklahoma, but there was definitely that, that idea that somebody had people would lace weed with PCP or Coke or whatever. So sometimes I would get really high and be like, oh yeah, that was laced. And similarly, like when I got older, I was like, oh yeah, nobody does that. But I did have one time that I got a really small amount of weed from somebody in this little cellophane bag, and I got super stoned and really paranoid. And I was like, oh God, what was with this weed? And I looked on the bottom of the cellophane, there was a little government stamp. And I didn't know I don't know where I got this idea that there was government weed or some kind of pharmaceutical weed or something, because this was 15 years ago. But I was like, oh, this is government weed. This must be made in a lab, from the government or whatever. And that's why I got so high. And then later on, I realized that it was a cellophane from a cigarette box. And there's just stamps on the bottom of the cellophane. So anyway, that's my weed.
People are kind of playing fast and loose with the secret.
Format.
Here's an anecdote. Here's an anecdote from my life.
She thought that the stamps. What is a government stamp?
Well, I don't know. That just sounds like some high person talk. But I do know what she's talking about. There used to be these rumors that the government was growing weed for research purposes when it was illegal, and that was the real best weed in the world. And I don't know if anybody ever substantiated that. But then I don't think this woman got any. It sounded like she had some of that Philip Morris. Tosh?
It's not fun being that high.
I miss getting high. Maybe I should do that while you're away.
I'll be home in 2 days.
I can wait for 2 days. Will you bring me a sundae?
Yeah, but can we do one more? I feel like no one's had a real secret yet.
Hi guys, love the show. I was inspired by Brent and his TSA feel up. I really like every year when I have my well woman checkup with my lady doctor and she does the breast cancer screening. It's not sexual at all. It's just a nice little boob massage. You don't usually get your boobs massaged at they don't shouldn't press hard. It's just nice. Not sexual. Just feels good. Anyway, thanks. That's super embarrassing, but now I've told someone.
Yeah, I think that I know the type of breast massage she's talking about, and it feels good. It's not a mammogram where they scrunch it. It's where the doctor kind of does this massaging thing, and it is nice. I like that too, and it's on your bare tits.
You like a breast cancer screening too?
Yeah.
I really like the prostate cancer examination that I get from random strangers on the internet when you go out of town.
Sounds hot.
I guess that was a secret, yeah, because she enjoys what is truly clinical. And you do too. Tash, anytime you want me to give you a screening, you let me know, okay? I'll hook you up.
Okay, cool. I love it.
You love that. You know what I love?
What?
You.
I love you too.